I feel so bad for my country right now. Our country has been hijacked. Our country has been hijacked by the media and the people that control Washington. And I'm going to tell you right now that it's Republicans and Democrats that are controlling Washington, not just the Republicans and not just the Democrats. It's the establishment Washington elitist that are ruining our country. And they're getting behind closed doors and making their deals, and then they come out and publicly fight about things that don't matter. These social agenda issues do not matter. What matters is very simple, that us as Americans are safe, that our freedoms are upheld, that we have secure borders and a strong military, that jobs are available if you want them. Obama touts that he has a 5% unemployment rate or under, yet we have 47% of Americans on some form of government assistance. Some statistics say 49. Some are even at 52. How is it possible that we have 47, 48, 49, 50% of the population on some form of government assistance, but unemployment's at 4 or 5%? Doesn't make sense. When did us as Americans become so stupid that we can't use general logic and numbers and fact to make our decisions? We as a society are looking at Donald Trump and what he said about these women. Well, Jesus, I'm thinking to myself, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. First and foremost, yeah, the man said some things, and yeah, they're offensive. I'm going to tell you, they're offensive. As a father to a little girl, they're offensive. But as a man, I've said similar things to my guy friends. The idea of a male being an alpha male around the guys, this is just things that happen. Now, I'm not condoning what Donald Trump said, but it's far worse what Bill Clinton did. And what Hillary did as a result of what Bill Clinton did. She set out to destroy women's lives for him being a sexual predator. And now all of a sudden, all these emails are starting to focus out and come out from WikiLeaks. And is the media reporting it? No. Are they talking about it? No. Why not? Because the media is in the bag for Hillary. In fact, if you start reading the emails, you're going to start realizing that the media is in a lot of these emails. They're pandering to Hillary because they want Hillary. They're not a fair and balanced news. It's not a free press any longer. It's a press designed to oppress you, oppress me. They want to divide us into every little niche they can. They want to divide us at every facet that they can, because divided we fall. Abraham Lincoln said it, divided we fall. United we stand, but we can't stand united because we are too worried about these little social issues that don't matter. Now it comes out, more emails are coming out, they're rolling out, and if people actually read them, they could not nearly come to the conclusion that Hillary is okay for this office. But no one will read the emails. They'll listen to the talking points from the media, who is actually directing the narrative. Now it's coming out, the New York Times, that 30 years ago, Trump molested a woman on an airplane and his hands were like octopus. I'm pretty sure that I read somewhere, and I don't know, I haven't fact checked it, but it's literally words to a song. But regardless of that, that's just all nonsense. This is a diversion. This is a diversion to make you think that Trump is incapable of leading. But he turned a frickin' $1 million loan into a $10 billion industry. The man is smart. He knows how to make jobs. He signs paychecks. No poor person has ever signed a paycheck for me, and I'll guarantee no poor person has ever signed a paycheck for you. We should be looking at Americans and getting them to rethink what's going on here. We as Americans should be questioning the system. We should be questioning the people that we put in charge to make these decisions on our behalf. But the Republicans and Democrats are running amok all on their own. At the end of the day, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that Donald Trump's poll numbers are going down. By the way, polls are all from the media, who obviously, if you read the emails, you'd start to see the trend that the media is in the bag for Hillary. But that's another story. But Trump's poll numbers are going down. They're dropping down lower and lower every day because of this horrible video that's out there. But no one's paying attention to these emails, where things that actually matter to our security are in, where they talk about how dumb we are as Americans, where they bash your religion if you're Catholic. We start talking about the idea of open borders and how she panders to Wall Street, something that Bernie told all of you guys about. She's pandering to Wall Street because she doesn't want change. Everybody's mad at Trump over his taxes, and I'm sitting here going, hello? Who put those laws into effect? Who made it possible for Trump to use the tax code to his own advantage? The politicians in Washington. The people in charge in Washington put the laws into effect. We can't blame Trump for using the law to his advantage. Every single one of you would use the law to your advantage. Every single one of you would use the law to your advantage to have a lower tax rate if you were successful and you were smart enough to understand the tax code. But big bad Trump doesn't pay his fair share. Well, who put those laws into effect? People like Hillary Clinton, I'll tell you, that's who. People like Hillary Clinton who have a public policy and then they have a private policy. And you're not rich enough to hear her private policy, the truth, the open borders, the pandering to Wall Street, the fact that nothing will change. Those are all public opinions to miscue the public's mind. There's actually an email that talks about how they've dumbed us down. And while we're still really misinformed, we're starting to become rebellious, and that's a problem. Read the emails. Read the emails, people. You're being lied to. This election's being stolen, and it's being stolen based on Trump being a bad person towards women. At what point are we going to look at this and say the presidency of the United States is not a popularity contest? You don't get to be president because you're popular. This is not high school, and we are not running for prom queen or king. We are running to run our country. And if you're going to run our country, you need to have sound business judgment. You need to have strong leadership, and you need to reassure our citizens that you can go out on a world stage and be respected. Obama and Hillary have created this landscape across the world, a global landscape of us apologizing for being good. And now they're trying to unravel it. And nobody's paying attention to that. Nobody's questioning it. Nobody's looking at it and going, wow, these emails would kill anybody politically. But because we're running against somebody who talks like a real American instead of somebody who talks like a canned speech politician, we're more focused on him. We're more focused on his words. We're more focused on nonsense. It's all a distraction. They are distracting you. The right's doing it and the left is doing it. They're distracting you because they don't want to lose their gravy train, and Trump is exposing them for the gravy train they've created for themselves and their friends. Their friends being the high donors that pay their frickin' campaign fees, the high donors that give them money to their frickin' foundations so they get access to our government offices. Look at the Hillary Clinton's foundation. Look into her foundation. Look into the foreign governments who have been granted access or favors. All of them have donated large sums to the Hillary Foundation. But we're more worried about Trump up here because we can't think with anything but our heart. Start using your head. We need to use our head. We need to look at these people and get them out of there. Listen, I'll tell you right now, if Trump isn't liked by the Democrats and Trump isn't liked by the Republicans, there's got to be a reason for it. And it's not because he's going to put us into World War III. It's not because he's a bad person. It's very, very simple. He's exposing the Washington corruption that's run rampant. He's exposing them for what they are. And he's telling you truthfully, yes, I use those tax codes to my advantage because it makes me a smart business person. You should be focused on the people that put those laws into effect and then maybe dig into why they put those laws into effect. He's exposing them. He's going to change things for the good of you. He's going to change things for us. He knows how to get money moving. He knows how to make money. He knows how to balance budgets. He is a strong believer in border security. He is a strong believer in our military and our veterans. He is a strong American. He has patriotic value. And that should be enough. Being a strong leader with a patriotic value at his side should be enough for him to be your president. It should be enough for him to be my president. It should be better than Hillary Look at her. Look at what she has done. Nothing. She has done nothing in 30 years of public service. Nothing but scandal after scandal after scandal after scandal. More money wasted. And she says, hey, let's think about this, folks. This one's good. What kind of moron loses $1 billion in a year? Well, 2 years later, Apple lost $1.7 billion that year. Far more companies have lost a lot of money. It was a bad time. It was a bad time for Trump. It was a bad time for his companies. But what kind of genius can lose $1 billion in a year and then turn around and make the company successful? He was able to take a bad situation and turn it into a success story. That's the kind of leadership we need in Washington. We need somebody in Washington who can take control of a mess and turn it into a rose. We don't need somebody who says, look at all the bad, look at all the bad, look at all the bad, but we can't fix it, so we're just going to leave it bad. Hillary wants to keep the Affordable Care Act. Guess what? It's bad. And in fact, she never spoke out against the Affordable Care Act until Bill Clinton was on the trail and said that it was crazy. Then all of a sudden, well, parts of it are crazy. Well, the whole damn thing's crazy. It's a government mandate for you to have insurance so people that can't afford it can. So basically, everything that you pay for goes up. Everything that I pay for goes up. My premiums are so freaking high that I can barely afford to keep my family insured, and I work every day. And it's for the benefit of somebody who realizes they can sit at home and do nothing and get the same benefits as me. When I go into a store and I see somebody swiping a bridge card here in Michigan, which is our food stamp program, and they've got Jordans on their feet, or 20-inch spinning rims on their brand new SUV. And I think to myself, wow, I work really hard and I don't have Jordans on my feet. I go to work every day and I don't have a brand new car with 20-inch spinners. It doesn't make sense to me. Why are we paying for people who aren't willing to pay for themselves? We are so wrapped up in the wrong things in this country. Nobody should get a free pass at the presidency simply because the other person isn't very popular to someone's eyes. It's not a popularity contest. It's brass tacks. Who can get the job done? Who can improve the lives of most Americans? Who knows how to move money and make it work for us? Who knows how to negotiate and bring jobs back? Fair trade deals. Not free trade deals, fair trade deals. Why is it that I'm hiring people from Canada and Mexico to come in here and do our jobs? Why isn't it the other way around? Well, I'll tell you, because we don't have jobs left here, and the ones that we do have, we're bringing people in for instead of giving them to our people. Why are we bringing in all these Syrian refugees and setting them up with money from my pocket, from the work that I do, from my till? But we got 50,000 homeless vets sleeping in the streets tonight. Why are we so concerned with Syria? Why don't we close our borders down to the world and start focusing on America's problems? Because eventually the gravy train runs out, we go broke, we go bust, we are no longer a country. And if you bring in 550% more refugees, you are going to bring terror with it. If it's proven, look at the European Union. Look at Germany. Look at Oktoberfest, their biggest festival. Look at how far the numbers have dropped this year. People are being raped in the streets over there. Is that the America we want? So we can have a chip off our shoulder about us being somewhat good? Forget them people. You want to help them? Set up safe zones in their own damn country. Get rid of Assad, or at least start looking at the fact that Assad's not a very good leader, and let's kick the shit out of ISIS. ISIS is the largest threat to the whole world right now. Extreme Islamic terrorism is running rampant in some 34 countries across this world. And we're worried about Donald Trump saying pussy? Give me a break. It doesn't make sense. It's not fair to the American people to be lied to by our so-called free press, who are in the bag for Hillary. We should be concerned more about what the person can do in the job than how much we like the person to have a beer with after work. This isn't about a friendship. This is about somebody who can lead our country in a troubling time. Hillary can't get the job done. She proved that with Benghazi. Hillary can't get the job done. She proved that when she got Gaddafi out of Libya in the first place and created the mess that allowed for ISIS to come in and take control. She proved it with the ransom payments that we gave to Iran. She was half of the architect of that deal. We're giving them money, billions and billions and billions of dollars, for them to postpone their nuclear program. But they're going to get to rebuild it. They're going to get to do it without any repercussions. And once they're nuclear, let's make no mistake, Iran is not our friend, and they are going to try to take us out. They're one of the world's largest funders of terrorism, and we are giving them our money to go over there and fight against us. Hillary caused that. Or by not establishing with the Iraqi government to keep troops in the ground until the problems were solved there, we pulled out and created a void. Now ISIS has wealth with the oil over there. I've been to Iraq. I know what it's like over there. And I know damn well that ISIS is running around free right now because people like Hillary Clinton don't have a damn clue at how to do things. She can't get the job done, and her damn boss at the time was too busy bending over and apologizing for America's greatness instead of trying to make us great. It's time that we wake up. It's time that we stop looking at petty things and the distractions in the media and start looking at the cold, hard facts. Hillary Clinton is not fit to lead. Look at the new article that just came out where several people have been quoted and talked about saying during the FBI investigation that they cannot believe that Comey made the decision he made. In fact, it was reported that unanimously all of the lawyers working on the case would have taken it to prosecution. So when Comey said that no prosecutor in their right mind would take the case, he lied. And while it's not unanimous, an overwhelming majority of the agents who worked that case for over a year, day in and day out, believe that they built a case strong enough to put that woman in prison. Yet she's on the verge of becoming your next president. Because Donald Trump said pussy? Give me a break. Wake up, America. This is probably our last chance. This is probably the last chance for America to ever truly be great again. Think about that when you go to the polls next month.